Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Running Wild Podcast. I'm your co-host Rich, alongside me as always, my co-host Runz.
Yes, sir.
Before we get started, just want to remind you that we're a team partnership with pwponderings.com, ROHworld.com, and lastwinnerprowrestling.com. Alright, so with all that out of the way, so we have a kind of a disappointing, or kind of it feels like a slow week over in WWE, and we have Ring of Honor's 15th anniversary pay-per-view coming up, as well as an interview with Frankie Kazarian. So I guess let's get started in order of everything. Fastlane Sunday night. Overall thoughts before we kind of hit some of it.
I mean, it was kind of just a whatever show. It felt that way. It seemed that way going in. It felt that way all along, and it kind of delivered on just being that whatever kind of show, you know?
Yeah, I didn't... Okay, when you have two back-to-back unannounced matches...
Two terrible back-to-back unannounced matches.
Yeah, I think you're really sending a message. I think the message is pretty clear. We're literally in the fast lane to WrestleMania. We are not slowing down and taking our time. We're just gonna do this shit.
What? I'm the chicanery that just went on between the Steiners and some weird team in camel pants at Starrcade 1990 just befuddled me. My apologies.
I can't see it, but I think that's got to be the Pitbulls.
I don't know. I think it's Rocco Rock is one of them.
Oh,
but,
really?
He did like a moonsault-ish thing outside, and Steiner barely caught him, and then the other guy jumped over Rick, and he just fell down like the guy hit him.
Wait, Rick or Rob?
Really, really bad. Rick Steiner.
You mean Rob Steiner? What? I'm confused. I just love the fact that his last name is Rick Steiner.
Insane. Rob Rick Steiner. Hey, let's just break that in half and make it a name.
I'm just trying to figure out if there's anybody else in wrestling whose real name is just that good.
Well, I mean, his name is not. Yeah, real names is a little tough.
I mean, Scott Hall's pretty dope.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
All right. So, there was a kickoff match. Quickly, the Cruiser Swan and Tozawa beat Kendrick and Noam Dar. The opening match of the night was Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn. Hope against hope, but it did not go. Yes, you are wearing a Samoa Joe shirt. It's very obnoxious. I mean, I don't know what to say about it anymore. It's seriously like I only have shirts of the underdogs and you only have shirts of the jerks. So,
yeah, the guys who killed those underdogs that you have the shirts of. It's just a strange coincidence, you know.
I have to buy a Sami Zayn one soon because I didn't like the
That's
Scott
the issue
shirt.
with the Sami Zayn shirts. I haven't been a fan of them.
Yeah, I would have probably bought one at this point. So
right now it's Norman Smiley and Gentleman Adams. This is wow.
Yo,
Okay, 1990.
Not gonna lie to you, I absolutely love Norman Smiley. So
yeah, but wearing British trunks. What? And I don't even know who they're wrestling. Rey Mysterio and Conan. Ha!
What?
Yep, Rey Mysterio. Yep, it's just a big dude and this is wow. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This Starrcade 1990 has really thrown a wrench in the plans here.
Starrcade? What possessed you to even put Starrcade 1990 on?
Well, as we discussed a little bit earlier, I bought a new TV, so I wanted to see how some random old WCW pay-per-view looked. And, landed on Starrcade 1990. So far, it hasn't let me down.
Unbelievable. All right. I think I feel like they could have done more during that match.
This should tell the audience exactly how much we thought of Fastlane that I would rather talk about Starrcade 1990's awfulness than the current product.
I actually really wish that we would have thought this out, because I think I would have watched it and we would have talked about that instead. Joe wins, and it's not a surprise, but also I thought it was a good match, but it didn't. I guess they always kind of wanted to keep. Like, in some ways, I think that Samoa Joe here could have been more dominant. It's hard for me to say that, but I actually kind of believe it. And I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did a good job of just making him look like a monster, and Sammy not just getting completely squashed, having his fight and showing his heart and all that.
All right. So Joe wins. Then you had the Gallows and Anderson defeated Enzo and Cass. So, I mean, this match was okay. I'm not into the tag team division on Raw right now. I'm not sure if that's me or if that's them, but I didn't particularly really enjoy it that much.
Yeah, I mean, I like the guys in the match. I'm kind of souring on Enzo and Cass a little bit, but I love the club. I love what they do. But, yeah, I mean, the tag team division, period, in WWE is just not in a great place right now. I don't remember the last time there's really been a focus on the tag team division on SmackDown, and Raw is just meaningless stuff going on, so we'll see.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Then you had Sasha defeating Nia, which was a little odd, with some kind of weird, kind of jackknife bridging thing where she ends up kind of stealing a victory. I don't know
if you are Nia Jax, what did she do wrong? What happened? Because she's undefeated, right? She's the monster, all this stuff. And then she loses to Sasha in a roll-up. Okay, whatever. And then just not on Raw, not on the revenue match. Game over. Thanks for playing this last 3 months. See you later. Were they just that unhappy with her work? I don't know.
Wait, well, she didn't wrestle on Raw, but I think she had a backstage segment at some point. Maybe you went to the bathroom. I think it was really quick. I think she pushed someone. I think maybe she was threatening Bailey or something. I don't know. I mean, obviously not memorable.
Yeah, but all right. And then she wasn't involved in any of the Charlotte, Bailey, Sasha stuff that occurred later on for an hour and a half. I don't. They made the triple threat. I don't know. Are they going to give Nia a chance? Maybe, but it was weird that she wasn't involved in that segment. So to me, it just seems like, nope, that was it. We weren't thrilled with what you did. We'll find something else.
Then the best segment of the night, Jinder and Rusev come out, and basically they both want competition. They don't want to be a team anymore. So instead of just easily having them face each other, right? Because that kind of would have made sense. Instead, they each face someone separate. Jinder ends up facing Cesaro. And if I'm Cesaro, my thought here is, really? I'm relegated to being a random surprise opponent for a heel that's clearly going to lose?
Well, at least he won.
Well, true. And then you have Rusev and Big Show. And Big Show basically demolishes Rusev. I mean... why do they do such dumb things? Why? You just gave Rusev a haircut. You're calling him Handsome Rusev. You're running... Okay, hey, let's split this team up because it was terrible to begin with and made no sense. Okay, great. Why not just have Rusev squash Jinder? Why not have Rusev beat Cesaro and have Jinder get squashed by the Big Show? I just don't get what happened and why they did this on Sunday, other than we have a shit ton of time to kill. Let's do something. And they added 2 nonsense matches. Rusev Big Show was entertaining. I'm enjoying seeing Big Show sporadically, and
He's in the best shape he's ever been in. So, it's fun seeing the Big Show as an attraction. But, oh, man. It's just not good.
No, not good at all. So then, after that, you had probably the best match of the night, I think. The Cruiserweights, Neville and Jack Gallagher, sorry.
Gotta tell you, didn't even pay attention to this.
Really?
Nope.
If you and I mean
there
this,
was zero chance that Jack Gallagher wins.
Yeah.
Zero.
It was good though. They gave it a lot of time, which was nice. But
maybe it's me not caring about the Cruiserweights period, but I haven't connected with Gallagher. I don't. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but
Yeah, I mean, for me, he wears vests, so I particularly feel close to him. So, all right,
close to a vest. Huh?
Then you had Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. With Roman coming in with the victor here. Now, I can understand, I guess, the other side. I personally didn't love seeing Strowman lose clean here. I thought like some sort of, I don't know, double, like they both can't answer, draw. They both can't answer like the referee's count or something like that, or double count out because like they went through something. It would have been just as effective in terms of keeping both of the guys strong and still keeping Strowman undefeated. I know Roman needs to look more powerful, and this easily bleeds into Raw, right? Because Undertaker comes out, and now you know definitively that it's gonna be Roman and Undertaker. So obviously you don't want Roman having just lost, but I feel like they could have done it a different way.
Yeah, it's really just kind of bothers me that on the pay-per-view before WrestleMania, you beat Nia Jax, Braun Strowman, you end Charlotte's pay-per-view streak, and you take the belt off Kevin Owens and give it to Goldberg. I don't understand why, beating Nia and beating Strowman should be humongous deals, and they weren't. It was nothing. It was just another match on another pay-per-view that nobody cares about, and that was that.
Yeah.
You should have been building to Strowman is dominant, and he's been awesome, and they lacked on telling that story, and I don't like that. He dominated Roman for a month, and then Roman just beats him. Here you go when it matters. Yeah, I get it. That's how it works, and we talked about it last week. Reigns is going to face Taker, so obviously he was going to get the win, but. Like you said, it's all about the execution of it and how it's done. I was very intrigued by The Undertaker facing off with Strowman on Monday. I thought that was really interesting, and I hope sets something up for SummerSlam or something of that nature. But, then, of course, Roman Reigns came out, and we got that. So, whatever, that's fine. I like Roman saying this is my yard now and all of that nonsense, and he'll be the clear heel, so we'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, you summed up the rest of the matches really well. Okay. It's like when Owens lost to Goldberg, I kind of anticipated that, right? Like there's a part we had discussed it. We kind of saw this was going to happen, but I just don't really get Charlotte losing. I don't understand it.
It wouldn't really make sense to take the belt right back off Bayley to me. You don't want to keep hot potatoing that title, but yeah, I'm surprised she lost just with a pin and, no DQ or count out, something of that nature. But I don't know, man. I don't get it.
There's no good. I mean, it occurred at a inconsequential pay-per-view. Why not make it a bigger deal? Why?
And she spoke about it briefly on Monday, but it was just that was it. It was done. That was the thing. It's over now.
Here's the thing: if Bayley wins that match, the first title, her first title. You don't fucking do it now. You wait till fucking Mania, right? She wins it at Mania. Achieves her dream. I think I don't think this has been a very successful run with the title for her right now. And I think it would have been much bigger if Charlotte loses her streak at WrestleMania, and that's where Bayley accomplishes her dream. Instead, Bayley wins it on Flarkin Monday Night Raw, and then breaks the streak at Fastlane?
Whatever logistics that we don't know about or whatever the case, it just seems like having Nia bully Sasha and having Charlotte just get some wins back over Bayley and build both of those to Mania and have them both happen there, where Charlotte gets Sasha gets the big underdog win, and Bayley gets the win and finally topples the Monsters heel in Charlotte, and it breaks the streak. It just doesn't make any sense, really, and I don't get it. You mentioned just that it's definitely kind of taking a step back, and I agree with that. The crowd isn't as loud for Bayley. They don't really care that Sasha and Charlotte, yeah, they're good, but they're not as loud for them as they are anymore. Charlotte probably more so than anyone else, but it's weird.
And I guess we would be bad at our jobs if we did not at least mention briefly the Goldberg Owens. I don't know. As the show went on, and I hate to say it, I think, there are times where I enjoy events a lot more if I don't know exactly what time it is.
Yeah.
But when you're sitting there and you know exactly what time it is, and the match hasn't started, and it gets later and later, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. So by the time that they both got to the ring, I knew it was going to be a ridiculous... But I couldn't fathom that it was going to be 2 moves. Because, okay, if it takes Goldberg 2 moves to beat your current Universal Champion, who, to be honest, had shown himself to be, kind of needing help sometimes to keep the title, right? But whatever. Now Brock beats him. Who beats Brock believably? Who does it?
Well, they've already kind of had, lose or be booked in triple threats or stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe they go to Reigns after Mania after he beats Taker or something like that. Who knows? But they can do that, I think, easier than they beat Goldberg. And it's just, I don't get, why did the match have to be 12 seconds? Why couldn't all of Kevin Owens going to the outside and coming in and going back outside, why couldn't that just be the match? It's not like Goldberg was getting winded, that would have given Owens the, hey, I lasted 5 minutes with Brock, and he would have been able to talk some shit at least and have some, moral victory. But instead, he does all that playing to the crowd and not letting Goldberg get to him. Then Jericho comes out, and then we ring the bell while he's distracted. 1 move, 2 moves, done. Come on, man. It's just, why do that to your champion? Yeah, I get it. It's Goldberg. That's how we've been booking him. Stupid.
And then, on the Raw, their exchange was okay, but it felt like Owens said, I'm not dealing with you. I'm going for the title. And then Jericho said, well, what if I put, or whatever.
Owens said, fine, you want me at WrestleMania, that's fine, but I'm going to take your title since you took mine.
Okay.
So, yeah, great. And so now this guy just lost the Universal title and he's going to want to win the U.S. title? That's stupid. He should not care about that. He should win the belt and just I don't want this, and just throw it away.
That would be excellent, but it just doesn't make sense. He wins it, what? Then he just has it? He's just the U.S. champ? For real?
At least on Monday we got some eyes on Joe and Owens having a little alliance, and going at things together somewhat, so that was nice to see. Align themselves hopefully with Triple H, and we'll move on. In some interesting light, despite the U.S., Universal, whatever titles they have.
Alright. Still kind of bummed out about the whole thing. Alright, so then, I mean, we Raw, in terms of, like, kind of covered most of the big things, right?
We talked about Raw, and the only thing from SmackDown, Orton beats AJ, and then AJ goes after Shane. So we know, again, Orton Wyatt and AJ Shane. That's it.
Hold on. You're glossing over, one, the women matches that it seems like Alexa Bliss has to defend against every single woman on the roster.
Joy.
And also, the greatest thing was the double 5-knuckle shuffle, which Statwife immediately noticed that Nikki managed to do wrong somehow. And then the double attitude adjustment.
As mentioned above, I made a purchase on Tuesday, and also with that came a new video game. And yeah, I really I realized at 8:30 that it was Tuesday and SmackDown was on, so I missed most of the Bella and Mr. Bella match. So yeah, my friend of the show said that Nikki was, like, you could tell she was just, like, super excited to be wrestling with Cena, and, like, oh, God.
And she dyed her hair darker, so she actually looks so much more like Brie. It's weird. Like, she looks more twinish, I guess, than before. But, also, I think I might have to resurrect our YouTube channel by taping Statwife during the mixed tag match of Mania. Because also, if John Cena proposes to Nikki Bella in the middle of the ring of WrestleMania,
it would certainly increase our YouTube viewership, and then probably land one of you in jail, because you would do that, she would kill you, and I would film her killing you, and then we'd have two awesome videos on YouTube for everyone to see.
Hey, I'm gonna just throw this out there randomly. If you guys want random short pay-per-view reviews from us on YouTube, write us an email, runningwildpodcast@gmail.com, or send us a tweet at runningwildlws on Twitter, and we'll do it. If one person...
The referee just held someone's hand down to get pinned. This pay-per-view is amazing. The gift that keeps on giving.
I have to see this. Alright. So...
It's some random tag team tournament, and it is atrocious. Bull Johnson and Troy Montour. The guy's legitimately a Native American. This is incredible.
Man, I kind of want to go watch this. Alright.
Yeah, everyone, please do. You can enjoy the absurdity that is Starrcade 1990.
So we have Ring of Honor's 15th anniversary pay-per-view coming up. It's actually going to be, by the time when you guys listen to this, it'll be Friday morning, so it's actually tonight. Kind of, pretty big. I think, like, one of the things that I remember, I'm not sure if I'm crazy, but we talked about it last year, and your thoughts were nothing changed, right? Like, nothing's really moved forward. Nothing really happened of consequence, I believe, at last year's anniversary. And I feel like this year is very different. I mean, you obviously... I was over at the Manhattan Mayhem show where the Hardys showed up and they challenged the Young Bucks and they won the titles. So now they'll actually be defending the titles against the Young Bucks at Supercard of Honor.
And Roppongi Vice.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. No, I wasn't misspeaking, but I
no,
you
said Supercard.
Yeah, so...
But it's at the anniversary show.
The anniversary show is a triple threat Vegas street fight. So the thing is, originally it was announced that it was Hardys versus Bucks at Supercard of Honor, and I think that's still a match, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Hardys even said after they came out and won the titles that they would be at Supercard of Honor. So, that might not shift a lot. I think that's just going to be kind of a, the Hardys probably get a pin over on Roppongi Vice. Part of me thinks, and maybe I'm crazy, but that the Hardys are going to call the Young Bucks out and make them defend the the Super Kick Party titles. Like, do you think that's crazy?
No, because they're on the quest for gold or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think that happens at either of these shows, but I don't know.
Okay.
Could be wrong.
Like, I just thought maybe, like, because let's just say the Hardys defend, and then they go, you know what? It's not fair. You guys still have something that we want, so why don't you put it up at Supercard of Honor?
Right, maybe at Supercard, yeah.
I don't know. So I'm actually looking forward to this match. I like Roppongi Vice.
Yeah.
I especially like their theme song.
Yeah, that theme song is atrocious. This show in general is a little more interesting, but I still don't think it's really any consequence that comes from it. But we'll get to that as we go through.
All right, so there's going to be a television title match.
And all right, so, sorry. For that match, yes, I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be awesome. But the Hardys, I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, no, there's... There can't.
Right. No, so nothing changes there.
No, but look, let's be fair. Manhattan Mayhem hasn't been on VOD yet, right? So you haven't actually been able to see the whole thing. And for most people, because I doubt they're going to release it tonight, most people, the first look at Hardys as Ring of Honor World Champions is at this pay-per-view. So that's a change.
Right, but that's nothing changing after the pay-per-view. That's something that happened beforehand.
Okay.
And it's not like the Hardys and the Bucks have wrestled before. It's not like people have never seen that. So,
All right. You have a top contenders match, Jay Lethal versus the infamous Bobby Fish. I was talking about this one yesterday. I just don't know who wins this one because I feel like they both need to win. Fish just lost his title shot. Lethal lost on the Decade of Excellence. So I feel like they both do.
Go ahead.
I was thinking, what I talked about on the Podcast of Honor was maybe like a Bullet Club run-in where Cody kind of... they both have issues with the Bullet Club. Cody and Jay are going to face off at Supercard of Honor, so maybe some kind of schmozzy finish.
Is Cody wrestling?
He is not announced on the card.
Yeah, so if he's there, then this would be a good spot for him to show up, and maybe he injects himself in the match. Okay. And maybe not. But yeah, I both guys need to win, and both guys don't need to win. They've both had their shots. Fish just had one, right? So yeah. I'm thinking Lethal gets the win here, and we have some iteration of either Lethal Cole again or perhaps Lethal Daniels again.
All right. So I'm going to officially go with Schmaz ending.
Yeah, I'll go with Lethal. Just because I like to hear Kevin Kelly say, Lethal Injection!
Well, you won't say that, and you won't hear that, actually.
You sure about that? Because him and Nia Riccaboni are doing the commentary.
Oh, he is? Oh, that's so exciting.
How do you cover ROH and not know this stuff? Anyway.
I honestly forgot that he was coming back. I thought that maybe he wasn't, so I'm pretty excited about it.
They came to terms with him this week, I think.
Oh, okay.
To call the 15th anniversary and TV taping after.
I actually like that. I really do.
Yeah, it makes sense for both of them if he can just go out and do some things and still be around here. Speaking of, interesting situations like that, there was a fight on Showtime that was on Channel 2 this weekend, and I put it on, and I just hear fucking Mauro Ranallo, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh.
This is crazy. I'm just waiting to hear him say, John Cena,
It's like the
it was super weird.
it's like the first time I saw Sean Mooney on regular television, like Channel 9 News in New York.
Right.
And I was just like,
Yeah, like seeing
what?
Scott Stanford on the news and stuff like that. But
Oh, that's so
it's weird.
weird.
Like, hey, this guy is the main announcer. Like, he's not a backstage guy. He's the main announcer for SmackDown, and he's going the Showtime fight. Like, that's an awesome deal. Congratulations, Mauro. You must have really wanted him.
Yeah, man. I just love his random pop culture references.
But, all right, so anyway, either Lethal or Fish wins here, and we get a repeat of some world title match that we've had in the past 2 months, correct?
Well, at Supercard of Honor, you already have Dalton Castle lined up, and because of the Battle Royal at Manhattan Mayhem, Matt Taven is listed as another contender.
So wait a minute. If we already have Castle, we already have
This isn't
Matt Taven, then why are we announcing another number one contender?
No, that's...
All right,
hold on, wait. It's not a number one contender match.
It's a top contender.
Yeah. So it's just like, these are two top contenders that we're going to have facing each other.
I thought it was like a top contender to the belt. All right, either way, Lethal wins.
Okay. Yeah. I can't really explain that one.
Here, correct?
Correct on this one. All right.
Two.
Bully Ray and the Briscoes are teaming up to take on War Machine and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Wow.
All right, so this one is a little weird because the announcement that they put up on Twitter was actually a video of like the Briscoes walking out of Hammerstein Ballroom, and it was kind of cool because I actually know that passageway, and War Machine is behind them, and basically they both tell each other they have open challenges at the pay-per-view, and then they basically accept each other's open challenges, and then you got an announcement that it was turned into a 6-man. Apparently, Suzuki Gun or somebody was supposed to travel and be at the event to accept the Briscoes offer, and then they couldn't make it. So that's why this got changed this way. And I'm fine. I would have been fine with just War Machine versus the Briscoes and Bully Ray versus... Yeah. Sorry. What did I say?
Yeah. I don't know if I would have liked to see Bubba Ray and Davey Boy, but it's a cool 6-man, but nothing that's gonna really have any impact, and we both know how much we love 6-man.
I mean, I think there's no way that Bully Ray and the Briscoes lose here. I don't think so. I think Bully Ray gets the pin.
Yeah, I guess, but like on the debuting Davey Boy or on the Monstrous War Machine, I feel like War Machine should get the win, pinning the Briscoes, and then we carry that on.
Right now, War Machine feels more like a New Japan act.
Oh, they're going to be huge in Japan.
So I'm wondering if also that impacts everything.
Correct, they win because they're big in New Japan.
Okay, I'm gonna disagree. So I'm gonna officially say Bully Ray and the Briscoes win.
Okay.
Then we have the
But again, there we go. No consequence, right?
Ring of Honor World Television Championship match.
I mean, yeah, yep,
Marty Scurll defending against Leo Rush. So Leo Rush beat him in a proving ground match to a 3 falls match to earn a shot. I think this is going to be a really great match between these two. The 2 out of 3 falls is really good, and I expect them to kind of top themselves in this one.
Hell of a match. This will be really good. I like both of these guys. We love Scurll. Leo Rush has been good every time I've seen him, so this will be a good match. But I unless they do something crazy, I don't see Scurll losing the belt. So, I'm going to go with that one.
Okay, I'm going to go with Scurll too. But this is going to be a really good match. I don't think you can say of no consequence. Like, this is going to be fun to watch.
But no. That's of no consequence is not. This is going to be fun to watch. The entire card, I'm excited to watch, but I don't see the impact that it has.
Please stop saying that name.
Anyway.
Say Effect, maybe? It makes me think you're thinking about another company. All right, then we have the World 6-Man Tag Team Championships. The Kingdom of Matt Taven, Vinny Marseglia, and TK O'Ryan versus Dalton Castle and the Boys.
Yeah, I don't. It'll be interesting to see, how the boys do here, and what maybe there will be a tag team and not really the boys. But we'll see. I don't think the Kingdom loses.
No, there was a. I mean, for me, I thought it was hilarious video put up by like from the Hammerstein Ballroom, where apparently the Kingdom was sitting in a room and the boys came in and like spit at Taven and ran away, and then the three guys from the Kingdom split up. Crazy hijinks ensued, and they basically kind of just were made fools of as the video ended, with Taven like screaming "boys" and shaking his fist. I thought it was pretty hilarious. Some people didn't really like it, but I do think that it ties into the whole idea of this match. Like, it's going to be, I guess it's going to be entertaining in that it's going to be kind of like comical, or there's going to be humor to it, but I don't feel that there's any threat to their title reign.
Correct. So certainly no consequence here.
What would be cool though is if Taven shows up on top of the ramp with two other guys, says, how dare you remake the Kingdom in your image? Nobody told you could do that. You were the lowest guy.
Bennett?
I'm sorry, Bennett. Yeah. Mad at Taven.
Yeah, I don't see him going back to Ring of Honor though. He's going to WWE.
All right, we can all dream. So then we have only one more match left. We talked about the tag team match. So yeah, one more match. Ring of Honor World Champion Adam Cole defending against the almighty Christopher Daniels.
Now this will be very, very good, and this one, could possibly change, the course of what's going on if Daniels wins, but I don't necessarily see that happening, and I see Adam Cole winning. I think Adam Cole wins, and by that effect, then there's really nothing that changed or came out of this. So that'll be interesting to see. But it's going to be a hell of a show. This match should be awesome, and if we get a new champion, it'll change the way you look at the show.
It feels weird, but there's they did announce one match as we were speaking, so I'll tell you that in a second. But I think Christopher Daniels wins here. It just seems like the culmination of the story arc.
Yeah, doesn't necessarily mean he wins, but I definitely think that the story ends here.
It would be, man, him losing would be to me very Lex Luger-ish. Like the build up and it seems like it's his time and all of this stuff. I feel like...
Yeah, but Daniels doesn't suck. Like, Luger was bad.
Okay. Let me put it this way. Knowing what I knew about, as I got older, about why Luger didn't win, it made sense, right? Like that was a different side of it. But when I was growing up, and, it's 1994, so I'm 12, I just was like, wow, I can't believe he didn't win. What? Like a count out? Why didn't he even try to... I'm talking about 94 SummerSlam, but why didn't he go outside and try to get him back in? He didn't even seem to be doing that. He just was he forgot the rules of the match. But anyway, it would just be kind of, to me, disappointing here. And, we have rumors of what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen with Cole. His contract's supposed to end in April.
I thought he agreed to a longer contract, or maybe till the end of the year, or maybe it was just the summer. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe he leaves, but we have him against Castle, we have him against whoever else, right? Coming up, so I don't know.
All right, and completely out of order because I literally just saw that this match was added. There's a six-man Mayhem match to determine the number one contender for the television championship. So it'll be Hangman Page versus Frankie Kazarian versus Chris Sabin versus Punishment Martinez versus Cheeseburger versus Silas Young.
Okay. It'll be interesting if Kaz wins that. I wonder. Him against Skrull would be heel on heel, but I wonder if Kaz wins the TV title and then him and Daniels kind of feud over that, you know?
Yeah. You know, I will point out, did you actually see Kazarian's heel turn? Or Bullet Club joining?
No.
Okay. So, he comes out when Daniels had attacked... Basically, Daniels had attacked, or went into the ring to talk to Adam Cole, and they were talking trash to each other. Cole hits him. He starts hitting him back. He's got like a bag with him, and after hitting the Angel's wings, he motions like he's going to cut his hair. Takes out clippers and scissors. So Kazarian comes down, and it seems like he's going to help, and then suddenly he takes his jacket off, and he's got a Bullet Club shirt on. But all that happens is him and Daniels is like yelling at him, like saying, "I can't believe this," and then the Bucks come in, they super kick him in the face, Daniels. And then they all, I think like maybe Cole hits him, and then they all pose over him doing it too sweet. Like Paige comes back out and Cody comes back out. And Kazarian never touched him.
Never touched Daniels?
Yeah. And they didn't wrestle. There was no contact between them at all at Manhattan Mayhem. And I just have this crazy idea that what if he's not really Bullet Club?
Yeah.
You know, like this is because Daniels has always been known to be that schemer, right? So this is his ultimate scheme. Like he made it seem like everything was against him. I mean, and if I'm wrong, whatever. You know, the everything against him storyline's a nice one. But also, you know, if I'm wrong, then you still have the idea that they announced. Now, granted, they announced that Castle is getting the title shot, but they could always change things. I mean, if Daniels wins, Daniels could be defending against Kazarian.
Yeah, could be.
So, you know, it's. I'm actually really excited about this match.
Or is that match at Supercard?
The Daniels and Kazarian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so then, I mean, why would they be lying if this match is announced for the next pay-per-view?
Because they can always change. I mean, right? They can always change it. Like it's been announced because it adds to the idea that they're really separate.
Then you get people who buy the tickets to see it, and then people are tight. Nah. Usually, they don't lie about shit for a storyline purpose, you know.
The only thing that concerns me is the idea that Castle is clearly a face, and he's getting the shot at Supercard of Honor.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
But my only thing, and I'll argue with this, Silas Young won the Honor Rumble earlier this year to earn a title shot against Adam Cole. And, you know, it didn't change who the champion was when it came around. It was still Adam Cole.
What month was that? Do you remember?
Okay. So it was down in Florida, I think in Lakeland. So I want to say may have been like in the end of September.
Okay.
Or maybe September 24th. I know that's crazy, but I actually think that's when it happened. So, you know, they've had heel on heel, pure heel versus pure heel.
Yeah.
So they could have, you know, Daniels could still win, and it could still be Daniels defending against Dolce Castle. I don't think they hot potato the title and have Castle win it. I think he should win it soon at some point, but I don't think that April is that moment yet. I think he needs to be hanging around doing more stuff. I mean,
no, I agree.
He hasn't faced the pain of the Bullet Club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like nothing goes through that. So, it's just weird that the event before Supercard of Honor where he challenges for the title, he's challenging for the 6-man titles, which also kind of takes away from the fact that there's really no way that they're going to win because he's not going to walk into a championship match, Supercard of Honor, also holding the 6-man tag team title. So it's just kind of absurd. So that's that.
Yeah, so basically, unless Daniels wins, there's nothing that changes coming out of the show. It's just what annoys me about Ring of Honor. Yeah, it's great wrestling. It'll be really awesome. I like a lot of the guys on the roster, but storytelling is lacking.
Don't tell it to Adam Cole, baby.
Well, it has nothing to do with him or
No,
the
no.
Hardys or the Bucks or anything like that. It's just Ring of Honor doesn't do a great job of telling stories.
All right. Well, so if you have nothing else to say about the card, we can just kind of move on to the interview.
Yeah.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back. I got a chance to sit down with Frankie Kazarian. We got to talk about just kind of his time in the business. We also got to talk about his music endeavors outside of the business, as well as the comic book that he stars in with Christopher Daniels, his former partner, and his thoughts on that project in light of their breakup. All right, so just sit back and we'll be right back with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Frankie Kazarian. Frankie, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so we're here moments before Manhattan Mayhem. Tonight you're actually teaming up with the Bullet Club. That's kind of a change of pace. Where did that kind of come from?
Well, it was what I've been saying lately is pro wrestling's a very selfish business, and one thing I never was a selfish individual. But sometimes in this business, you have to look out for number one, and going forward, that's what I'm doing. Chris Daniels has made his choices about singles aspirations, so I've made my choices, and I've made allegiances with the hottest club in professional wrestling. And tonight, we're going to prove why we are just that.
You like you said, you have been actually part of tag team action for such a long time. Are you going to be focusing on teaming with someone in the Bullet Club, or do you think that you're going to be going out on your own, so to speak?
I'm focusing on me. Like I said, it's about time I start being selfish, like a lot of my peers have been, and watching out for myself. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I know a guy I might walk up to in the back and shake his hand. If I turn my back, he would cut my heart out with a spoon if he wanted to. So it's time for me to establish myself in this company as not just a great tag team wrestler or not just somebody's partner or somebody's best friend, as a formidable singles guy that can and will do it all.
What is it like when you and Christopher Daniels have ventures outside of the ring? You guys just recently are both featured in an All Yeah Comics special team up, and now you're Splitsville. How does that work out?
Well, I'm still I'm still part of those comic books, and I generously enough still sign hundreds, if not thousands of them every week, so Christopher Daniels can sell them. I'm not trying to take any money out of Chris Daniels' pocket. Again, I'm simply looking out for myself. There's enough to go around for everybody, but again, I'm not gonna let the lasting memory of me be just somebody's partner. People are gonna realize that I am my own man and I am my own wrestler. But it's in terms of our outside of the business ventures, those still exist. Those comics are great. I encourage people to buy them, especially because I still get a cut financially.
What was it like, in this day and age, in the day and age of the internet, and how almost everything gets out there right away, and it almost seems like everybody has A, B, C, D, and E all planned out, so that when things happen, there's no surprise. What was it like for you and you guys to kind of pull off this big shocking move?
I love it. Anytime you can surprise wrestling fans and fellow wrestlers, especially in 2017, you got to kind of pat yourself on the back. Everybody is a smart fan. Everybody has access to more information than the wrestlers do themselves. Everybody knows what's going to happen before it happens, and that's part of the business I don't really like. The magic has been taken out of it a little bit. If I want to see a great movie, oftentimes I won't watch a lot of trailers because I want to go in there and I want to be a fan and kind of not know what to expect. To whereas a lot of times the hardcore wrestling fans almost get obsessed about wanting to know what's going to happen before they see it, which I never understood. But so to be able to pull off a ruse like that nobody saw coming, and that I've gotten people's reactions, and they range anywhere from shocked to thrilled to sad to a lot of hatred directed at me. I love it. I'm taking it all in because again, it's not an easy task to do.
Recently you just had a music venture kind of take off. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I'd love to. Yeah, my band Vex Temper. We just released our first single called MPH. We have our album coming out April 7th digitally. It'll be called Doom Engine. Going to have physical copies available as well. I've been really pounding the pavement with that, and launched a YouTube page, and we're on all social media. We're booking gigs for this spring. It's my other passion when I'm not doing this. When I'm at home and if I'm not spending time with my wife and my son, I'm doing something Vex Temper related. And a lot of that is the behind-the-scenes business aspect of it, which I've kind of taken it upon myself to do, being as that I kind of have experience in that field because of professional wrestling. It's awesome. I love it, man. I want people to check it out. I'm going to be talking a lot about it in the next couple weeks. If you're a fan of hard rock and heavy metal, I think you'll like it. It's just another great way for me to get out my creativity. And I really think people are going to dig the album, especially fans of old school hard rock and heavy metal.
Have you guys been doing performances as of late, or?
Yeah, we have it. Our last gig was in September because we kind of shut down so we could focus on recording, and kind of out where I am, gigging season really starts from early spring to late fall. But yeah, we've gigged out. We've played some a few different spots around Southern California. And like I said, we're going to try to play out as much as we can promoting this album and just get it out to people. And I'm admittedly using my form as a professional wrestler to really shove this down people's throats, and I honestly think there's a lot of crossover. I meet fans all the time that know I'm a fan of hard rock and metal, and they want to talk to me about it, and I love that. So it's just something if you like good music and you want to listen to something new, give it a try, man. And you got 5 really good musicians putting their heart and soul into it, and it's just music the way it should be.
Would you say you get more nervous when you're going on stage to perform, or when you're coming out to the ring?
Nowadays I've been wrestling for close to 19 years, and I've been playing music for a long time, but only playing live for a couple. So that's a different beast, You have 4 other guys, you got your band there with you, just like in wrestling, you have your tag team partner there with you. I guess I'd say at the beginning of a gig, I'm a little more nervous than I am at the beginning of a match. But as soon as that first chord kicks in, we're off and running. I'm fine. Same with wrestling, If I do get amped up, once we lock up, I'm ready to roll. But it's a different beast, It's a different beast. But there are a lot of similarities when you talk about the performance aspect of them both,
Do you think we'll be hearing your band's music come blaring over the loudspeakers now that you have a different persona coming down to the ring?
Yeah, I'm considering switching up. We already come out to Get Addicted, which is a song I wrote and we recorded, and I actually just released the album version of that on YouTube. You could check that out. Cheap plug. I'm thinking of maybe switching up and going with one of the tracks on our album that'll fit kind of the feel and the vibe I want to create when I come to the ring. So, and there's always the possibility of writing and recording more music specifically for pro wrestling, but that takes time and effort to do. So, but yeah, I'm definitely trying to cross it over as much as I can.
You said that you've been wrestling for 19 years. What are some goals that you have left for your career? You've been in the business for a long time. You've had some major accomplishments. You've been a big part of Ring of Honor, as well as other companies. What are you looking forward to moving on?
Well, when I came to Ring of Honor, I wanted to really help this company grow, and I feel that I have done that in a large part, along with Chris Daniels and a ton of other guys. I still have singles goals and aspirations. I've always said if you don't want to be a world champion, you shouldn't be competing in this business, and that's still a goal and an aspiration of mine, to be a world champion. And again, at this point, is to prove that I, was and still am and will be a formidable singles wrestler going forward.
Who are some, probably been asked this 1,000 times, but who are some inspirations that you had when you were growing up, when you wanted to become a wrestler?
Oh, my first, early on, my first favorites were always the kind of undersized guys that I thought really moved well and wrestled well. Guys like Tito Santana and Ricky Steamboat and the British Bulldogs. Later on, guys like Owen Hart and Sean Waltman and Jerry Lynn and, guys of that nature. Just the guys that were, maybe not the big jacked up guys, but the athletic guys that put on what I thought were good matches. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, of course, Rob Van Dam, those type of guys. The guys that just stood out because of their wrestling, not because of their look or their overall persona. And, while I appreciated, my favorite wrestler ever was the Ultimate Warrior. While I appreciated what he brought to the table, I understood the difference between Ultimate Warrior and Bret Hart. So, you know, but I enjoyed both of what they both did, and I enjoyed the Ultimate Warrior from a presentation standpoint. I enjoyed what someone like Bret Hart could do from an in-ring standpoint. So it was always the guys, I like to say, like the intercontinental style of guys that was my favorite, and still is, to be honest. Kurt Hennig, those type of guys.
Who would you say is the wrestler that you faced for the first time that maybe you popped for? Like you kind of were a little awestruck or starstruck when you met them?
Probably not awestruck when I met him, but first time I wrestled him, probably Kurt Angle. You know, first time I'd wrestled him, I'd wrestled Christian, who's you can also put in that category, in a ladder match, and we had what everyone called was a great match. And the next night I wrestled Kurt Angle, and that was the first time I wrestled him. I'd go on to wrestle him many times after that, but this was a live 20-minute match on Impact, and my first shot at the world title, and it was a game changer for me, man, because it put me at a different level. And Kurt's such an amazing wrestler that just being in the ring with him and having a competitive match just upped my stock more than I could have if I was wrestling for 5 years. You know, it just changed the way I approach things, and that was one of the last times I really remember being nervous and putting a lot of pressure on myself. But yeah, and that's a credit to how incredible of a professional wrestler he is. You know, just that being in there with him could make you that much better in one night.
So, kind of going back to what's going on right now, you have a match set up with Christopher Daniels, the Supercard of Honor. However, if he does win the title at the 15th anniversary show, that might change how things play out. Do you have your eyes set on that, considering that you guys just kind of split?
Well, it's a win-win for me. You know, the Christopher Daniels has Adam Cole in his head right now, and I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome that, and I don't want to be left in his wake if he doesn't overcome it, because I don't know what's going to happen to him. So Adam Cole wins the match. Bullet Club retains the world title. Christopher Daniels wins the match. I have a title match. So it's a win-win for me. And it's a win-win for the fans because it's the first-time match in Ring of Honor, and it's a match that people have not seen in years. And it's definitely going to be something special.
I totally agree with you there. Where can we find you on social media?
Social media, everything. I'm Instagram and Twitter, Frankie Kazarian. My band is Vex Temper on all social media. And I'm most active on Twitter, so follow me there. I'll be happy to engage a conversation, insult you, trade peanut butter cookie recipes, all the above.
Do you Too Sweet yet? Is that something that you do?
I do Too Sweet, yeah. I was Too Sweeting before, but now I can do it legally.
All right.
Too sweet, man.
Too sweet.
There we go. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. Just want to take this time to thank Frankie Kazarian. Really appreciate that. Make sure you guys go out and check Vex Temper and check out their new singles coming out on iTunes. And if you're into comics, the Oh Yeah Team Up. It's a pretty good one. I actually got it, and I was able to cheap plug for myself on Fox News. They did a short story on Daniels and leading up to the 50th anniversary show. And I had actually gone to the comic book store 2 weeks earlier and purchased the comic. And then I ended up going back there to get it signed after Manhattan Mayhem. And when I walked in, they had cameras there. So there's a short clip that I'm probably on screen for like all of a blurry 3 seconds. But I'm receiving a comic from Christopher Daniels and walking out of the store. And also I didn't even hang out around the store because I felt awkward because the camera's there. So it was fantastic. But yeah, so once again, that was, just kind of also thank Ring of Honor for their hospitality. Appreciate a chance to get to sit down with Frankie before the event. They're always busy before they're going on. All right, so I guess we should head into any kind of our closing plugs, unless you have anything else.
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, guys, so just make sure, last week we had Michael Kingston on, the creator of the Headlock comic. If you haven't yet, he's really close to reaching his goal. There's some really cool prizes or rewards in the quick Kickstarter. Like, for example, for a certain tier, you actually get, like, your face will be one of the random characters in the comic. And if you don't get it through Kickstarter, you won't be able to get Ric Flair's story, Kenny Omega's story, Cody Rhodes' story, or Mick Foley's story. So you should go check that out. You can find all of our stuff. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so over on iTunes. We're also on SoundCloud. Make sure that you guys like, rate, and review. It really helps us out. We actually do this for free. You can find us over on Twitter at RunningWildLWS, and our email is runningwildpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow my work over at pwpodnews.com, Ring of Honor, ROHworld.com, and lastwordonprowrestling.com. And you can follow me on Twitter at Rich_Laconi, where I'm tweeting out just random stuff that, usually has to do with something about professional wrestling.
Usually.
Yeah, well, most of the time. All right, so with all that out of the way, guys, just want to remind you that you've been listening to the podcast that is just too sweet.